Hi guys, Terry here. Hey, I recently had someone ask me about how I store my stamps, specifically not the Stampin' Up or the Close to My Heart ones, but the other brands. So I'll just quickly mention that I have my Stampin' Up in a DVD stand, these two here, and then these square ones here are the Close to My Heart. I like those. They're in a nice heavy plastic container. The thing that I did, now they come with a flat back to them, but the older ones, if I can find one, here's an older one. So this one's back from, you guys know what that number means, 1202. I don't know if that means 2002. But anyways, this set was an older one and it had a snap on it. I've simply gone through and cut off all of the little snap things that were on there because that snap was taking up, when I cut those snaps off, I could put triple the amount of those stamp sets together. So I have them numerically in order for the Close to My Heart, and then I have them alphabetically in order for the Stampin' Up ones, and then I have them all listed in Evernote. I'll link to a video where I talk about Evernote because that's where I have my inventory, and I can also search for different things and find the stamp set, so then I can just come over here and find it alphabetically. So that works for me. Some people I've seen organize them by the birthday ones together and the Christmas ones together and the flowers together. So whatever works for you, that's cool. But let me show you how I do the Gina K and the other brands. So in my craft room, I have a stand over here. It mostly has my scrapbook paper and my 8.5 by 11 cardstock. But I have these bins here are my brands that are not Stampin' Up or Close to My Heart. So let me get one of these down and I'll show you these packets that I use to... So this is a plastic tub, and I think we've all seen these tubs that are like at Target and Amazon and Walmart. It's just, this one's nice and wide, so I like it for the bigger Gina K stamp sets. But here's an example. So here's some new Gina K ones that I have just gotten. If you saw my haul video, that's where those came from. I have some, I think these are considered large envelopes. I found these on Amazon and they work really well. They are a clear pocket and they have a lip to them. I simply fold that inside. I know some people cut them off. I just have it inside. And I think what I like about these pockets is I can put the stamp set in here, and then if there's a coordinating die, I can put the dies in here. And it's nice to get them in and out of this packet. Other than, and I think you've all experienced it, where you open this up and the plastic rips, right? You open it once or twice and that plastic is done for. So these are made for hanging at the store when we buy them. So I find that this works well. And then right now I have my stamps that are in these envelopes. I have them organized by brand. I go back and forth on whether it's a good idea to have them by, by subject. So I have some other ones here that I've got where I've pulled them out and I have them by topic. So I kind of have it both ways. My Gina K ones I tend to have together, and I think because a lot of hers are flowers and nature, and sometimes they'll have a sentiment on them, and a lot of times what I love about their stamps is they'll have them a bunch of different sentiments. So this one I couldn't really file under birthday or congratulations or thanks, right? So I kind of have my Gina K ones together in that way too. I do have them in Evernote, but it is nice that when Gina K has her sales, I can come here and flip through here and just make sure it's something that I don't already own, right? We've all bought duplicate stamps. So so this is a large clear envelope. I buy them in a pack, and then this one is a I think it's an extra large one. So This extra large one is like this, and this one for some reason I trim down. Sometimes I trim them down. Like for example, so here's one that comes in this size, and I'll put these measurements on the screen here. This is the extra large, this is the large, or I'm sorry, this one is the large. And then I had a bunch of the smaller stamps. I just took this one and cut it down. So I have her little mini sets up here. I can quickly flip through them. I cut a piece of printer paper and slide it down inside here. And I just write the brand and the name of the stamp set. You wouldn't have to do that. You might write, maybe along the top you would just have a label that says flowers or something. I just keep track of the stamp set name there so that I have my inventory. Gina K sends a piece of magnetic piece she sends when you get her dies, so I like that. Not all companies do that. Let's see, here's a picket fence one. I like this extra large packet because it kind of fits some of these wider stamp sets. And if the stamp set has packaging that I like, I'll display that on here. This one, for example, is a rubber stamp, and you really can't see what it is, so I kept the piece from the insert from the packaging, and I display that just so that I can see what it is. And then this one had a coordinating die, so I've got those. And you could slip the dies. This is sturdy enough that I think the dies wouldn't cut this or anything, but I do like to have just a little bit of magnetic strip in there so that I can kind of see at a glance the shapes of the dies and find which one I want. I do try to keep stuff together. Here's an example from Tailored Expression that had, again, nice packaging. The idea, you know, it's got the sentiments for these stamps here on here. I've made some, so I've got the extras sprinkled in here so that I can, if I go to use this, I can quickly grab one if it's in the color that I want. And then this one also had a embossing folder and a die for the front of the card. So I've got that all together. Instead of putting this with my dies and this with my embossing folders, I have it with the stamp set because this one all coordinates. So love that. And I've kind of learned over the years to keep it all together because you'll either forget when you go to use the stamp set that you have those other things, or you won't be able to find them. So again, these extra large ones fit the background. This one's from My Favorite Things. It fits those larger stamps. Here's a Simon Says one that's huge. The other thing that I do sometimes is if they've got this one here has this, I think this is a stamp set. So this is a stamp. It has a die, coordinating die with it that cuts those windows out. And then I also, and it's from Hero Arts, it also has this, this is kind of a sister stamp to it that has all these little sentiments. I've used these sentiments before on the inside of those windows. So it's just something that I've stuck down inside here. I wouldn't have to do that, but again, anything that makes your life easier, you know, consider storing it like that. So I think that's everything I wanted to show you. I'll have a link to these envelopes. They work great. Here's another case where I have the Gina K, if you're familiar with her wreath builder. It fits in the extra large envelope, and I keep the stencils with it here. So it's got the stencil that goes into your MISTI, and then this is her wreath builder system. So I've got that Christmas one here, and I think I have the fall one. Yeah. So those are together. And you know, I think it's a real struggle on what how to categorize them. If you have some cardstock, you know, make this a little bit taller than your stamps in the when they're in your bin. Make that cardboard a little bit taller. Use a label or just decorate the top there that puts the subject on it. Any way that you can, you know, quickly find those stamps that inspire you for a birthday card, you know, I would put there with that label. So that's my ideas on how I store my stamps, and hope it helps. I like to have videos about card making and scrapbooking and sometimes quilting. So subscribe to my channel, and I thank you so much for watching. Have a great week.